Hi everyone, I'm Brian Mavins and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that is both powerful and eye-opening. The one type of person that frightens a narcissist. Now, you've probably noticed that narcissists walk around like they own the room. They seem untouchable, like nothing can shake their confidence. But I want you to know that's just a mask. Deep down, narcissists are fragile, insecure, and constantly afraid of losing control. And yes, there is one type of person who absolutely terrifies them. Not because of money, not because of status, but because of inner strength. By the end of this video, you will not only know who that person is, you will know how to become them. And trust me, once you do, the narcissist will ever be able to control again. So let's dive in. Narcissists are masters of disguise. They put on a show, a mask of confidence and a charm. At first glance, you might even admire them. They know how to draw people in, how to make you feel special, how to make you think they have it all figured out. But underneath that charm, what really exists? Fear, insecurity, an identity so fragile that it needs constant validation just to stay intact without admiration. They feel worthless. Without control, they feel weak. That's why they resort to manipulation tactics, gaslighting you, guilt tripping you, or using the silent treatment. It's all about keeping the mask in place. They want you doubting yourself, so you look to them for answers. They want you feeling small, so they can feel big. But remember this, their power only works if you hand it over. So what gives a narcissist power? It's not their charm, it's not their intelligence, it's your reaction to them. Their power comes from control, control over how you think, how you feel, and how you act. They thrive on emotional dependency. If they can make you crave their approval, they can keep you hooked. If they can make you question your memory, they can rewrite reality. And if they can make you feel guilty, they can control your choices. Control is a lifeline of a narcissist. Take it away and they start to panic. That's why they fear one type of person, someone who can't be manipulated, someone who sees through the mask, someone who can stand strong no matter what. And that person, that could be you. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Who exactly is this person that frightens and narcissists? It's not the loudest person in the room. It's not the most aggressive. It's not the one who tries to fight the narcissist at their own game. No, the person who terrifies them is calm, grounded, and independent. This person knows who they are. They don't need constant reassurance. They don't really rely on someone else to define their worth. They can walk away if they need to, without fear of being alone. To a narcissist, that level of strength is like kryptonite, because if they can't shake you, if they can't confuse you, if they can't make you dependent, they lose all control. And that, my friends, is their deepest fear. Let's break it down, starting with self awareness. Imagine a narcissist trying to gaslight you. They say that never happened, but you are grounded in truth, so you respond calmly. Yes, it did. They say you are too sensitive, but you know your feelings are valid. They say you always overreact, and you stand firm in your knowing, your response is reasonable. When you are self-aware, their tricks don't work. Gaslighting fails. Manipulation crumbles. Self-awareness is like holding up a mirror to their lies. And narcissists hate mirrors that reflect the truth. They thrive in confusion and doubt, but clarity, that's the one thing they cannot handle. The next trait is emotional strength. Narcissists depend on people who crave validation. They'll give you highs through love bombings, then pull it away to make you chase them. But if you are emotionally strong, you don't chase. You don't collapse when they withdraw attention. They give you the silent treatment. You stay calm. They try guilt tripping you, you don't bend. Emotional strength means you can sit and discomfort without needing their approval. That makes their games useless. And nothing rattles a narcissist more than realizing you don't need them to regulate your emotions. When you remain calm and unbothered, you strip away the illusion of power. And then there's independence. The traits narcissists fear the most. Independence means you are not tied to their money, their approval, or their social circle. Narcissists want you dependent on them so you feel trapped. But when you are independent, you can live without losing yourself. You don't need their validation. You don't need their resources. You don't need their circle of friends. You can stand on your own to fit. And that terrifies them. Because deep down, their biggest fear is abandonment. When they realize you can walk away at any time, their grip is gone. Independence makes you untouchable. So why does this type of a person completely unnerve a narcissist? It's simple. First, they lose control. None of their tactics land. Second, their insecurities are exposed. Your strength highlights their weakness. Third, rejection. They can't manipulate you into staying, and the thought of losing you terrifies them. Finally, fear of abandonment, the one that narcissists carry deeply. The kind of person forces them to face the truth. Without control, they are powerless. Without admiration, they are empty. Without dependency, they are irrelevant. And nothing scares them more than being irrelevant. Now, here is the good news. You can become that person, the one they fear. And it doesn't require changing who you are. It requires strengthening three pillars: self awareness, emotional strength, and independence. Self awareness comes from reflection, journey about who you are, your values, your boundaries. Emotional strength comes from practicing boundaries and saying no without guilt. Independence comes from building your own support system, financial, emotional, and social. The stronger you become in these areas, the less grip any narcissist will have on your life. You won't just survive toxic relationships, you rise above them. So let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how narcissists react when you don't play along? Maybe you didn't respond to their guilt trip. Maybe you didn't panic when they gave you the silent treatment. Maybe you stood firm in your truth and suddenly they seemed unsettled. That's because you tapped into the exact qualities they fear. Think back on your own experiences. Can you remember a moment when the tactics didn't flag? That's proof that you already have the strength inside you. Now imagine amplifying it. What would your life look like if you are completely unshakable? One mistake many people make when dealing with a narcissist is trying to fight them at their own game. You argue, you defend, you try to prove your worth. But here's the truth. You'll never win by playing on the battlefield. They thrive on chaos, arguments, and drama. The more you fight, the more fuel they get. But when you step back, stay calm, and hold your ground, you starve them of power. You are not trying to beat them, you are refusing to play. And nothing frustrates a narcissist more than someone who won't join their game. Another reason this type of person frightens a narcissist is the mirror effect. Your strength shines a light on their weakness. Your independence highlights their dependence on validation. Your calmness reveals their chaos. Your clarity exposes their confusion. And narcissists can't stand being exposed. They avoid mirrors that reveal who they really are. That's why they lash out when you don't crumble. It's not just that they can't control you, it's that you remind them of everything they are not. And for a narcissist, that's unbearable. Let's talk about practical steps. How do you build self awareness? Start by journaling every day. Write down your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences. Notice patterns. Notice triggers. Self awareness also comes from asking yourself key questions. Who am I? What do I value? What are my non negotiables in relationships? The clearer you are on your answers, the harder it is for anyone to manipulate you. Self awareness is your foundation. Once it's strong, gaslighting and lies bounce right off you. Now, let's move to emotional strength. One exercise is practicing the pause. When someone triggers you, instead of reacting immediately, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I reacting from strength or from fear? This small pause creates power. Another tool is learning to sit with discomfort. Narcissists use discomfort to manipulate. You feel anxious, so you run back to them. But if you can't sit with that discomfort, you break the cycle. Practice self soothing, meditate, journal, build coping skills. Emotional strength isn't about never feeling, it's about not being controlled by your feelings. And finally, independence. Start by building financial independence. Create a budget, save money, learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Next, build emotional independence. Stop looking to others for validation. Give it to yourself. Finally, build social independence. Nurture friendships outside of toxic circles. Join communities that uplift you. Independence is about creating a life that's yours, so no one can trap you. When you are independent, a narcissist threats lose power. You can live, you can walk away, and that freedom is exactly what terrifies them. Take a moment right now and think which of these three pillars, self awareness, emotional strength, or independence, do you need to work on most? Be honest with yourself. Drop your answers in the comments below. Sharing it isn't just about an accountability, it also lets others know they are not alone. Remember, growth is a journey. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to take one step at a time. Let me share a quick story. I once worked with someone who constantly doubted themselves because of a narcissistic partner. Every time they brought up an issue, the partner would say, "That never happened," or "You're crazy," Over time, this person began to believe it. But once they started journaling and keeping track of events, they realized they weren't crazy. They were being gaslit. With self awareness, they built confidence in their truth, and eventually, the gaslighting lost its power. That's the strength you can build through. Another example, someone came to me saying their narcissistic partner would punish them with a silent treatment, days of no contact, making them desperate for attention. But instead of chasing, they decided to stay calm. They focused on themselves, on their own joy. And guess what happened? The narcissist got angrier because the control was gone. Silence is lost. Silence lost its sting. And the moment you stop reacting, you break the grip. That's emotional strength in action. And then there is independence. I remember working with a client who stayed in a toxic relationship because they relied financially on their partner. The narcissist used money as control, but step by step, this client built their own independence, new job, savings account, support system, and when the time came, they walked away. The narcissist begged, threatened, manipulated, but it didn't work. Why? Because independence equals freedom. And freedom is the one thing a narcissist cannot cage. At this point, you might wonder, should you try to get back at the narcissist? Should you seek revenge? The answer is no. Revenge keeps you tied to them. It means you are still playing their game. The greatest revenge is not needing them at all. It's moving on, living free, thriving without their control. That's what they fear most. No, not your anger, not your revenge, but your indifference, your peace, your freedom. That's how you win. At this point, you might wonder, should you try to get back at the narcissists? Should you seek revenge? The answer is no. Revenge keeps you tied to them. It means you are still playing their game. The greatest revenge is not needing them at all. It's moving on, living free, thriving without their control. That's what they fear most. No, not your anger, not your revenge, but your indifference, your peace, your freedom. That's how you win. Freedom is the opposite of control. And when you step into freedom, you break every chain they try to wrap around you. Freedom means choosing your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own path. It means creating a life you love without their input, without their manipulation. And here's the truth, you don't need anyone's permission to be free. Not your past, not your pain, not even the narcissist you once held power over you. Freedom is your birthright. Claim it. Take a moment and imagine yourself completely free from the influence of a narcissist. Imagine standing tall, calm, and unshakable. Imagine knowing who you are so deeply that no lie, no manipulation, no guilt trip could touch you. That's not a dream, that's a choice. And every step you take towards self awareness, emotional strength, and independence brings you closer to that reality. You are stronger than you think. And the fact that you are here watching this video means you are already on that path. So, here is my challenge for you this week. Pick one area, self awareness, emotional strength, or independence, and take one small action to strengthen it. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's saying no when you did usually say yes, maybe it's saving a little money for your future freedom. Whatever it is, commit to it. And let me know in the comments what step you are taking. Because when you share, you not only empower yourself, you inspire others on the same journey. Remember this: narcissists may act fearless, but inside they are terrified. And the one thing they fear most is a person who cannot be controlled. That person is self aware, emotionally strong, and independent. That person does not chase approval, does not crumble under manipulation, and does not rely on anyone toxic to feel whole. That person, my friends, can be you. Every step you take toward your strength makes you more untouchable. And the day will come when no narcissist can shake you again. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm Brian Mavins, and it's been an honor to guide you through this journey. If this message spoke to you, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might need it. Remember, you have the power to stand tall, to break free, and to live your life in your terms. Narcissists fear strength, and your strength is growing every single day. Keep shining, keep standing tall, and until next time, this is Brian Mavins reminding you that you are stronger than any manipulation, and your freedom is your greatest power.